Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. In my previous video, I was talking about the various effects or the principles that affect our brain and other aspects. Now, here is a point where one needs to understand or get to further aspects. To start with, Aim Angushtabhyam Namaha, Klim Tarjanibhyam Namaha, Sau Madhyamabhyam Namaha, Klim Kanishtakabhyam Namaha, Aim Kartalakara Prishtabhyam Namaha, Aim Hrudayaya Namaha, Klim Sirase Swaha, Sau Shikhaya Vashat, Sau Kavachaya Om Klim Netratrayaya Vaushat, Aim Astraya Fat Bhurbhuvasuvarom Iti Digbandha Sarvaloka Gotrodbhavasya Egra Ankula Sthanasya Asya Shri Shuddha Shakti Mala Mahamantrasya Upastha Indriyadi Varuna Aditya Rishihi Daivi Gayatri Chandaha Satvika Kakkara Bhattarika Peethasthita Srimad Kameshwaranka Nilaya Srimad Kameshwari Devata Aim Bijam Klim Shakti Sau Kilakam Shri Devi Prityarthe Khatka Siddhyarthe Jape Viniyogaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sthavaram Jangamam Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ajnanina Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Sarvalokanam. Now, in my previous video, I didn't talk about the swaras and its the effect that shows. There is pa, 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 dha, pa, dha, dha, pa, dha, pa, dha, pa, dha, pa, dhani, dhani, ni, sa, re, gama, 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 gasa, 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 re, sa, re, ga, re, sa, re, gasa, 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 gama, 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 ma, pa, dhani, 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 sa, ni, dhani, dhapa, dhani, dhani, sa. Now, when you see, when we enunciate and pronunciate on the strong dha and ni, this directly or indirectly creates those vibrations to get us connected to that, that invisible manifestation, so-called God, which we have from the Paursheya point of view. We have our own structures created. We see that Lalita Devi having that thing, and she opening her tongue, and she having etc., and Shiva having that Gaja Charmambara and the Shula, etc., etc. But logically, if you really see, all of this is an illusion. Understand this. That is the reason why I always consistently say Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema is a very research oriented subject. That line itself has that. And Akhila Anda Koti Brahma Anda Naika or Nayaka Shri Devi Khatga Sityarthe Shri Devi Prityarthe Khatga Sityarthe Jape Viniyogaha. This is directly or indirectly again taking us to Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Brahmaiva Jivo Na Paraha. Now, for a common man to understand this, understand this very concept of the Vedic cosmology at macro level and micro level, if you really see, if you really want to understand, that's when you will have to understand the very nature of masculine and feminine, as I explained, which masculine being logical, active, assertive, rational, analytical, goal oriented, and feminine being passive, receptive, intuitive, creative, emotional, process oriented. And I said they work in parallel also. Now see, this is where actually, if you really look, the brain functionality happens. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a vital point for a dancer or a classical musicologist or a vocalist who is singing. The range could be anything, higher range or lower range. There are two ranges, higher ranges and lower ranges. When the individual is singing at a higher range, what happens is this human mind, so-called between Agnya Chakra and Sahasrara, that's where actually this Agnya Chakra, between Agnya Chakra and Sahasrara, between Agnya Chakra and Sahasrara, there is something called, Shikha Chakra. Understand this. And that is the reason why I say this, this is very complex structure. Our brain is a very complex structure, and this is where the Nada Bindu Kala, and this is where the pineal gland's reference comes into picture. This is again altogether a very different subject. Logically, if someone wants to prove this point, what happens is it's invisible, but it can be felt. It needs to be felt first. You need to get that feel of it. How you get it? These sounds which I was talking, strong tha and strong nai and na, are the three primary sources that really helps you to get to that, and thus it takes you to the level of drashta and drushya. When you get to that point, that's when this Brahma Granthi, which is there in Mooladhara, where the energy source starts, gets to Manipuraka, chakra, and that's where the Vishnu Granthi is. And when this energy starts working about it, right, that's when it goes to the Agnya chakra here, and that's where the Rudra Granthi is. And thus the energy starts traveling from here to here, and thus Shikha chakra. And understand this Bindu point which I am talking is the 9th chakra. Now, sir, you are telling all of this, fine. Why Saptaswaras and why this human consciousness, human consciousness is like affecting. This is where the human brain's consciousness, effect of consciousness. As I was expecting in my previous video about the pineal gland and its working, right? If you really see, I was explaining talking about universe is mental and using mind to the shape of realities in accordance to the thoughts and belief, thoughts and the correspondence, etc. Right? Now, let's try understanding the principle of vibration. That is the third phase where the edge of the classical dancer or the musicologist or the musician has. And incidentally, this is where the consciousness studies, true consciousness studies happens. In vibration, when the vibration starts happening, it will not be in the rest mode. Even if I am speaking on a consistent basis, they will be vibrating. And everything moves. And everything vibrates. Those 65 billion neurons start working. And they get connected to that 100 billion galaxies in the multiverse. Directly or indirectly. And if you really see this universe, if one is in the yoga drashta aspect, drashta and drushya aspect from the yoga and yuga point of view, these vibrations can be felt. And that is the reason why the moment one goes to meditation or the moment one does the classical dance with a prescribed way, in a systematic way, he or she will reach to that level. And determinants being, there is no difference of femininity or masculinity as we are showing today. Our society is showing. For a commoner, this masculinity and femininity is always existing, directly or indirectly, through the intelligence quotient and emotional quotient and sensory quotient as well, and unisensory quotient. There are 4 aspects to this. Understand this, ladies and gentlemen. And they have different frequencies. Dha, dhapa, dhani, 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 sa, ma, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dhani, sa. Sa, pa, dhani, pa, dhani, sa, ma. See the frequency, which is it is unique. It cannot be seen. This can be felt, and this is how it works. When it comes at the universe level, for the scientists who are trying to search for the aliens, right? They are sending what you call space shuttles, etc., etc., and all. I don't think so they would be able to get to that point, because our universe itself is more than 3.5 trillions and trillions. The time and distance it travels is what makes it more odd man out of it. And this could be felt only with the meditation, with the thorough practice, or dance medium, classical dance medium. And this is where the Natya Shastra came into existence. And this is the proper study of the Vedas. It is not about Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharvana Veda, Samaveda, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, or whatever it is. It is only after that Apaurusheya aspect, for the benefit of the humans who cannot understand this codified language which is there in the existence. They divided and they made it. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the first thing. And I was talking about the thoughts, emotions, beliefs and actions, right? Which is there in the feminine form. If you see, right? All of those. This is what happens. What kind of manifestation is this that I am talking about? Manifestation, you as an individual. When I say Naradla Ramachandra does not exist. He is constantly in the universe, but this Naradla Ramachandra, who is on this earthly existence, is a temporary product. He came for a purpose and he goes off after this purpose is over, and he will again get into that multiverse. Think about it. This is the very principle of consciousness. It has been already told in Vedas. I don't know how come this scientists are really talking. We have invented this, we have invented that. This is again, the fourth stage is coming to the polarity, which more or less talks about the sorry about that, aspects of same things changing. Perceptions, human perceptions, existence perceptions, existence and non-existence perceptions at a grassroots level. This is where the spectrum of possibility, and this is where the one needs to accept the life as it is. And thus this is where, this pineal gland, which is there in the human brain, in the center, as I said, it is very small. It's a very small kind of chip, but a very powerful tool, ladies and gentlemen. Believe me, I'll tell you how to activate this pineal gland using the Saptaswaras. When we practice strong ma, ma pa dhani, dhani dhani, ma pa 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 pa, ma pa rega 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 resa. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Saptaswaras are the primary sources for everything, and they have that, mudras also. And this is where the 108 karnas came into being, and they have been existing. And in fact, this serves as a juncture for this principle of vibration and principle of polarity which I was explaining. And this is where the human soul or the human consciousness, so-called Naradla Ramachandra, unites with the body that is existing in the multiverse. It's a very complex thought, very complex to explain or to feel it. One needs to get through that. That is the reason why I say you need to have sadhana for this. And this is where the signal of light and darkness is transmitted, ladies and gentlemen. This is the beauty of Saptaswaras, and this is the beauty of Vedic hymn chantings. Vedic hymns or the Vedic chantings did not have differentiation till the time Rishis and Munis divided it to the Chatur Vedas. And then came the Panchama Veda, wherein, though people say it was Bharata, but I would say out of my research that this was told by different rishis and munis. Again, as I was telling, these vibrations, principles of vibration and principles of polarity, for this to happen, pineal gland is that thing that establishes the connection with the rest of the body in our body. Now, apart from these 65 billion neurons that are there in this small human brain, the 72,000 nadis that are there in the body get connected in those vibrations, start, and thus creates all of the immune system that is there and protects the cells from damaging, reducing the risk of cancer, most importantly, understand this, and enhances mood and memory, essential for overall health and well-being. Now, how do you, as I was explaining about the correspondence as well, and I was telling that our multiverse is a single universe, and its manifestation is, both reality and non-reality aspect. One needs to have that drashta and drishya aspect, which I will be explaining from the principles of rhythm point of view and principles of cause and effect point of view and principles of gender. This is the subject. This is altogether a different subject. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. This concept is not as easy as it seems to be. But to tell this concept, one needs to be in the drashta and drishya aspect from the yoga and yuga point of view. Manusmritis came later, but this is what is a Paursheya aspect. And a Paursheya aspect plays a key role for the understanding of Vedas as a whole. To understand, understanding of Vedas is nothing but understanding of the human consciousness or the human existence as a single entity. And this is where the feminine nature happens. Think about it. Thus I conclude this video with a positive note.